In a turn of events that no army saw coming, Park Jimin has finally broken his silence, leaving fans stunned and eager for answers. Meanwhile, Jungkook's military enlistment has taken an unexpected twist, as a mysterious meeting at the camp has left everyone buzzing. But the most heartbreaking moment of all? Jimin Taehyung, known for his unwavering support for his brothers, was seen looking visibly emotional after witnessing the entire scene. What could have happened to shake up the BTS members like this? It had been weeks since fans last heard from Jimin. The usually vibrant and outspoken member of BTS had maintained an uncharacteristic silence, fueling speculation. Was something wrong? Had something happened within the group? Some feared that military life was taking a toll on the members, while others wondered if an internal conflict was brewing. Then, out of nowhere, Jimin's voice emerged. His words, though few, carried an undeniable weight. He spoke through a voice recording, a message sent from his military station. His voice, usually soft and soothing, held an unusual intensity, sending shivers down the spines of those who listened. "I hope you all are doing well. There's so much I want to say, but for now, just know that I miss you all," he said, his voice carrying an underlying emotion that fans couldn't quite place. What was holding him back? Why did his tone sound different? And most importantly, why now? Jungkook, the youngest of BTS, has been known for his resilience and adaptability. Enlisting in the military was a moment of pride for him, and fans had been reassured by his consistent updates, showing his usual energetic spirit. But everything changed when reports surfaced about an unexpected meeting at the military camp. No one saw it coming. According to sources, Jungkook was seen standing still, his usually confident expression replaced with pure shock. Whoever he met had clearly shaken him to his core. But who was it? Speculations ran wild. Was it an old friend? A former mentor? Or perhaps someone from his past that fans had long forgotten? The mystery surrounding this meeting only deepened when Jungkook was later spotted deep in conversation with the individual. His demeanor noticeably different from his usual bright personality. He wasn't just talking, he was listening intently, as if every word being spoken carried significant meaning. What was said in that conversation? And why did it seem to affect him so much? The most heartbreaking moment came when Jimin Taehyung, BTS's soulful vocalist and a pillar of emotional strength, was seen looking visibly shaken. Taehyung, known for his deep connection with his bandmates, had always been expressive when it came to his emotions. But this time it wasn't just sadness, it was something deeper. He was there. He saw the meeting happen, and the change in Jungkook didn't go unnoticed by him. Fans who saw the moment described how Taehyung's face fell, his eyes dimming as he turned away. It was as if whatever he had witnessed had struck a nerve, something that went beyond mere friendship. Did Taehyung know the person Jungkook met? Was this connected to something from their past? The unanswered questions only made the moment more painful to watch. With Jimin's cryptic message, Jungkook's mysterious encounter, and Taehyung's heartbreaking reaction, armies are left in a whirlwind of emotions. Was this just a coincidence? Or was there something deeper happening behind the scenes? Could this moment change the bond between the members forever? One thing is for sure, BTS's story is far from over, and whatever happens next is bound to leave fans on the edge of their seats. What do you think is really happening? Could this be a turning point in their journey? Nobody expected it. No one could have predicted the way the air at the military camp would shift so suddenly, the way the world around them would pause as if something significant had just unfolded. Jungkook, the golden magne of BTS, had just encountered someone who changed everything. But who was it? What did he see that made his breath hitch? Why did Jimin's voice tremble when he finally spoke about it? And why did Taehyung, who had always been the pillar of composure, look like his heart had shattered into 1,000 pieces? This wasn't just any meeting. This was something that would be whispered about for years. A routine day turns into an unforgettable moment. It had started as an ordinary day at the military camp. Jungkook, like the rest of his comrades, had been focused on training, pushing himself through the rigorous drills, his uniform soaked in sweat as he carried out his duties with the same dedication he had once given to his music and performances. Military life had toughened him, but it had also given him a sense of structure, a different kind of discipline. But amidst all the routines, the moment he locked eyes with this mysterious person, everything changed. The shock on his face was undeniable. His fingers stiffened around the straps of his gear, his lips parting ever so slightly as if words had been stolen from him. There was a moment of hesitation, a flicker of disbelief in his gaze. Who was this person? Why did Jungkook look as though he had just seen a ghost? When the news of Jungkook's unexpected encounter reached Jimin, he had been on a call. It was supposed to be a casual check-in, but when the details were whispered into his ear, everything about him changed. His voice, usually smooth and warm, turned unsteady. His laughter, which had echoed moments before, died in his throat. What? The word barely escaped his lips, his fingers tightening around the phone. Are you sure? Jungkook saw them. The word alone sent shivers down the spines of those who heard it. Jimin didn't need to clarify who he meant. The way his voice wavered, the way his expression darkened. Anyone who knew BTS well enough could sense the depth of the moment. But that wasn't the only reaction that sent shockwaves through the fandom. The real surprise came when Taehyung, who had always been one of the strongest among them, struggled to hide his emotions. He was known for his poker face, for his ability to mask his deepest feelings beneath layers of charisma and charm. But this time, he couldn't. He had been scrolling through his phone when the news reached him, sitting comfortably in a dimly lit room. The instant he saw the text message, his entire body tensed. His shoulders, which were always held high with confidence, slumped. His eyes, which usually sparkled with mischief, darkened with something else, something unreadable, something that carried weight. The biggest question remained. Who was the mysterious figure that left Jungkook frozen in his tracks? Speculation spread like wildfire. Some believed it was an old friend, someone from their past who had once been close to them, but had disappeared from their lives. Others whispered about the possibility of a former trainee, someone who had once trained alongside BTS but never debuted. But then there was the theory that no one wanted to say out loud. What if it was someone even more significant? What if it was a figure from their past, someone tied to deep, unspoken emotions, someone who had been lost but was now standing before Jungkook, bringing back memories that were supposed to remain buried? Jimin, despite being miles away, felt an unease creep into his bones. He had always been protective of Jungkook, always looking out for him like an older brother. And now, knowing that Jungkook had been shaken by this unexpected meeting, Jimin couldn't shake off the nagging feeling that something was about to change. What if this brings back things he's tried to forget? He murmured under his breath, his fingers tightening around his cup of coffee, untouched and now cold. There was a time when Jungkook had struggled, when the weight of their journey had felt heavier than it should. And Jimin had been there, watching over him, making sure he didn't break under the pressure. Now with this sudden encounter, Jimin couldn't help but wonder, was Jungkook okay? Taehyung, on the other hand, wasn't just worried. He was hurting. There was something about this situation that made him remember things he had tried to forget. His fingers hovered over his phone, contemplating whether he should text Jungkook, ask him how he was feeling, but he didn't. Instead, he stared at his reflection in the window, watching the way his own expression wavered, the way his eyes seemed to betray the sadness he was trying to suppress.